Can a man love a woman who left him when things were rough and returns? Elohor enters her room. She's fresh from the bath and wants to soothe her skin with her body cream. She's met with disappointment when she finds out it is finished. She goes into the kitchen, passing her husband Kome and her daughter Sharon, who are busy attacking Sharon's assignment, and goes into the parlor to drink Gary. Sharon completes her assignments and requests for ice cream. Before Kome can give her a reply, Elohor sends her out of the parlor. Kome comes to meet Elohor where she is sitting down to pet her. She refuses to be consoled and asks when his brother that promised him money will send it to them. Kome says there's nothing he can do if his uncle doesn't give him money, but he tries to see him again. Elohor says he better do it because her body cream is finished. Kome promises to get another body cream soon. Elohor is at Madame Okoko's shop, begging to take some clothing material on credit. Madame Okoko is refusing totally. She has given Elohor once, even though she paid her, she cannot do it again. While Elohor is still begging, Madame Okoko's customer arrives with his girlfriend. He meets Madame Okoko and introduces himself as Ovi to Elohor and tells Madame Okoko to assist his girl in shopping for clothes. Elohor merely nods at him and tells Madame Okoko she will be waiting for her to come back. Ovi asks if she is here to buy clothes too, but she answers that she is here for something else. Ovi tries to engage Elohor in a discussion. He compliments and asks if she is an actress. Elohor answers that she is not. She is a former banker who wants to start a cake shop. Ovi asks what is keeping her from starting, and before she can reply, he guesses the culprit: funds. Elohor keeps staring at him as he offers her his card, telling her to call him in case she needs an investor. Just then, Madame Okoko comes back with Ovi's babe, and Ovi and his babe leave Madame Okoko's shop. Kome is at Obaro's office to complain bitterly about his financial issues. He begs Obaro to do something, especially because of his wife, who can no longer bear the suffering. Obaro reluctantly gives a wad of money and promises him more. He begs Kome to be patient with him and he will reward him with something big. He also invites him to a party for political party members so he can introduce him to other important people. At home, Elohor is disappointed in Obaro. She's expecting him to reward her husband with a contract, not some cash, especially after Kome was the one who bought the political form for him. Elohor accuses Obaro of being ungrateful while Kome tries to calm her down. Finally, she mentions Ovi, a potential investor, to her husband. Kome is skeptical about it, but Elohor persists. Elohor also says it will be good if he follows her to see Ovi. At least, if he cannot give her the money, he will help her secure it. Elohor and Kome go to see Ovi with her business proposal. Ovi is impressed by what he sees and makes some silly jokes about Kome, which Kome is not comfortable with. Ovi at the end assures them that he is interested in the cake business. Kome voices his insecurities about Ovi to Elohor at home. He claims Ovi has ulterior motives and he has his eyes on her, but Elohor is having none of it. How will he say her God-sent Messiah has ulterior motives? Is she supposed to lose this opportunity because of him, or does he think her cake business is not worth investing in? In fact, she has a lot of questions for him. Kome stands on business and tells her they are going to reject Ovi's favor. Ovi sends a text to Elohor that he is outside her house. Elohor hurries to go see him. She's surprised when he offers a gift he got for her from Madame Okoko. He admits he had wanted to give her the day she came to his office, but her husband was insecure. Elohor apologizes on his behalf, while Ovi brushes it aside, saying his lawyer is going to get in touch with her to draw up a contract. Elohor tells him her husband isn't comfortable with the investment situation, and Ovi asks if she is willing to lose such a big opportunity because of him. Elohor keeps staring at the road even after he drives off. Elohor hides the gift bag inside her wardrobe until Kome unfortunately goes in search of something for their daughter and finds it. Elohor quickly lies that it is a credit sale from Madame Okoko. Kome is reluctant to believe her, but he has no choice. Soon, Elohor starts receiving many gifts, a new iPhone included, from Ovi through Madame Okoko. She shares her thoughts to Madame Okoko about how she feels about these gifts she's getting from Ovi. Madame Okoko admits that Ovi is interested in her. Though she is sure he's going to take care of her, she can't tell her to leave her husband. Elohor couldn't hide the last gift from Ovi properly, and Kome sees it. He immediately assumes it is from Ovi when he confronts her, but Elohor can't say a word or two about it. Kome has rushed down to Ovi's office with his gift to warn him to stay off his wife and family. He furiously threatens Ovi and tells him he doesn't want to see him ever again. Ovi also assures him that the feeling is mutual before Kome walks out of his office. At home, Elohor is angry. How can Kome go to Ovi's office to disgrace himself like that? But Kome isn't moved by embarrassment. He's just doing all he can to protect his family. Ovi visits Elohor at home to give a check for her to get a shop and equipment for her cake business. He also invites her to leave her husband and come stay with him, but she cannot take her daughter Sharon with her as they will be traveling a lot. This bothers Elohor, but thinks things don't get better for her and Kome as Ovi keeps inviting her to places, while Kome keeps registering his displeasure about it. Eloho packs out of the house one day when she gets tired of the whole drama. Ovi immediately comes and packs her things to his place. Kome tries calling her and visiting her to come back home, at least for their daughter. But Eloho is done with suffering. She can't move back to drinking Gary with him. Kome is plaiting Sharon's hair when she keeps asking for Eloho, her mother. She asks if Eloho has gone to heaven, and he did not tell her. Kome tells her she is not in heaven, but she is away somewhere. Sharon asks if she's ever going to come back, and Kome lies that she'll be back soon and he will make sure of it. So Kome goes to Ovi's office to harass him again and leave his wife alone. He goes to Madame Okoko's shop too to beg her to tell Eloho to come back home, but Madame Okoko chases him away to go and provide for his family. Ovi calls the police to arrest him and detain him and also make sure nobody is able to bail him. Eloho pleads with him to release Kome for the sake of their daughter, to no avail. Ovi is bent on teaching Kome a great lesson. Obaro finally comes to bail Kome out of the hands of Ovi and the police cell. Kome narrates his story to Obaro, begging him to do something for him so he can feed. There, Obaro hesitantly gives Kome his car for Uber. They also agree that Kome has to give him returns from his driving. Kome is excited and tells his daughter at home that things are about to get better for them. One day, he picks up his old-time friend. His friend is excited to see him after these years. They have lunch together, and Kome tells his friend about his business plan of buying and selling cars. His friend is interested and readily offers to invest in it. It is 2 years later, and Kome is making it big in his car buying and selling business. His life much improved as he has a girlfriend, Tamara, who gets along with his daughter Sharon. Eloho is also married to Ovi. She's now a big madam, but she's constantly threatened by Ovi's infidelity. Ovi brought his side chick to their home one night to sleep. Eloho is pissed. Who exactly is his audacity plug? But Ovi tries to push it aside by saying she had accommodation issues. Eloho insists that there are other places he could have taken her to and not their house. She proceeds to insult the side chick and call her names. There, Ovi slaps her. More shock. Ovi warns her that her anger he can accept, but she should never insult him again. Eloho visits Kome and is surprised by his good fortune. She almost cannot believe it. She also sees Tamara, his girlfriend, and how well her daughter is living. Kome doesn't grudge her for all these years or ask any questions, which surprises her. When she gets home, Ovi asks her where she's coming from, and Eloho resorts that how is it his business? After all, he has side chicks. Ovi tries apologizing to her about the slap, but there is a hard knock on the door. It is the police, and they have come to arrest Ovi on the charges of money laundering. Eloho wants to excuse herself back into the house, but an officer handed her some papers to confirm it is her signature. She confirms it, and she's arrested as an accomplice. Eloho calls Kome to help bail her out, but Kome refuses. He says he doesn't want to stain Sharon in her mess, so he can't help her. She keeps begging until Kome has no choice but to come bail her. He tells her he's not doing any of this for her because he owes her nothing, but only because Tamara pleaded with him, because she is still the mother of his child. Kome drops Eloho off in front of Ovi's house, and he is already driving off before Eloho realizes that the door has already been sealed. She waves at Kome to stop, but he shouts that there is nothing he can do to help her, and he continues driving. Eloho goes to meet Madame Okoko and tells her all that has happened. Madame Okoko sympathizes with her, but there's nothing more she can do. She offers to house Eloho until things get better for her. Eloho thanks Madame Okoko for her offer and starts living with her. Kome continues to prosper like never before, and he expresses his love to his daughter so much. He bought her car with a customized plate number as her name. All this going on while Eloho falls into depression. She starts to regret her choices and goes to Kome's house to beg him. Kome doesn't let her in, and he adamantly refuses to accept her. Eloho narrates everything that happened with Ovi, and Kome is just shocked that what kind of a person she left him for. Her story does not make Kome drop a dime for her, as he still does not accept her back. He tells her he has other things to do in his life and shuts his door. Eloho goes back to Madame Okoko's house in tears. She can't believe Kome abruptly turned her down. Madame Okoko sees her crying and begs her to try and get herself together. Madame Okoko tells her she needs to start doing something for herself and leave the past behind. Eloho obliges, but she tells Madame Okoko she has no money. All the money in her account has been frozen because she is in connection with Ovi's crime. Madame Okoko promises to raise her some money for her to start her cake business again, but warns her that she can only try. Eloho goes to see her daughter Sharon on her welfare. Sharon tells her mother how Kome has really been taking care of her and how things have changed for them. Kome comes and Sharon excuses both of them to go to her room. Eloho pleads with Kome again, but he refuses. He asks if she would ever come back if things didn't turn out as it were for her. Eloho goes on her knees and tells Kome she's sorry for everything that happened, but Kome says sorry won't solve anything and walks out of the house, leaving her kneeling. It is when Tamara sees her, she stands up and leaves. Eloho starts working in a cake shop owned by someone. Madame Okoko, who promised to source funds for her, has told her to start from somewhere first. Kome comes to her cake shop one morning when no one has arrived. He asks her where the other attendants and her boss are. Eloho replies that they are not there yet and her boss has traveled. Then he shows her the papers he's holding that makes her the owner of the cake shop. Kome says the shop owner is a friend of his and wanted to sell it off before she traveled, so he bought it for her in her name. Eloho is shocked by his gesture, but Kome assures her that he's only doing what he promised to do for her before. He adds that if only she waited for him, and Elohor starts to apologize again for the pain and heartbreak that she has caused him. She expresses her pain, saying she wishes she knew better then, but the deed is done. Kome merely shrugs at this and turns to go away. Suddenly, he turns back and looks at her with a sad smile on his face. He says he wishes he could stop loving her, but he cannot. He has tried all possible to forget her, but he cannot, no matter how much she hurt him. And all he has for her is still love. Kome then wonders if Elohor can still take him back, and she asks about Tamara. Kome replies that Tamara saw through him and was the one who encouraged him to come here. Elohor starts to cry hearing this. Kome pulls her into a hug and kisses her. He holds her for a while before she turns to start cleaning the show glass of the cake she was cleaning before he arrived. Endless Love is a sad but interesting love story. It is filled with many lessons and very interesting to watch.